Yeah, I'm not gonna do that mobile phone thingy. Alright, skip stream. Cool. We're connected. Let's go to Twitch. Oh. That's the wrong label. That's a problem. Oh well, I will live, I think. Also, I should mute myself. Okay, that's a thing I'll check out later. Let's edit the name of this stream. Sketch, because that's really what we got. Why would you do that, Twitch? Spikes, rocket, cube, hover, frenzy. Come on. Sketch. Cool. It's Monday night. Yep. And that's probably not going to update, and that's lame. Alright, let's go through the normal routine. Yay, I kind of care. Or rather, I would care more if I wasn't also streaming at the same time. But thanks for the notification, computer. Alright. That's cute, I guess. Alright, so let's start with Twitter. So I know I promised last week that I said I was going to get back into doing more extra stuff, non-related to the Crimson Fly, but like I got home really late, and I also wasn't supposed to go in today, but I did because extra hours that pay for this sort of stuff and all that jazz. So I ended up not starting when I wanted to, which would have been an hour ago. Sorry, everybody. And so that means that I don't actually have the time to do a warm-up on something else. I actually have to start on the stream, on the Crimson Fly, because that also has to that has to take priority. It just has to. Rather, getting that set up for set up in such a way that I don't have to worry about it later has to take priority. So unfortunately, that means that there isn't going to be a warm-up on something else. Sorry, everybody. Okay, I'll check that out later. Whatever. And retweet that again. Copy. Mute myself again, because that apparently unmuted itself. That's cute. That's also cute. Alright, let's go to Tumblr. And go alert people that I am streaming right now. That's a thing that people should absolutely check out. So, photo. Oi, oi, oi. Upload photos. No, I don't want to upload it. I already. Oh, I guess that does the same thing, but still, that's not the point. Close the dang door so that way all my ranting and raving goes unnoticed by the fam. I just called them the fam. What am I doing with my life? Besides aging in reverse, apparently. Working on next week's strip. Good thing I just have this down to a text box, otherwise it would be a pain in the butt to... Oh, it's the cat. Copy that. Alright. Something gives me this suspicious. I feel kind of suspicious that I probably don't want to know about whatever that is. Schedule for 9 p.m. I don't expect to be on long because I actually have to wake up tomorrow and I have to do some prep work to wake up for tomorrow. So we're probably not going to be streaming as long as I would like to. fly. Schedule. Fly schedule for 9 p.m. Schedule. And then a silly wing. Man, I really wish the rest of my life could be as efficient as, like, the stream. Which is kind of an odd thing to say considering I'm running late, but y'all know what I meant. Sleewing. Whatever. Facebook. Oh, yeah, Drastic has started watching. Yay! Thanks, Drastic. Welcome to the Skip stream. How are you doing tonight? Yay! Apparently my posts are doing better than 80% of posts on my page. Boosted for up to $5. That's never gonna happen. But, well, actually, it's never gonna happen. It's just I don't have the money for it to make it happen. So, that's just not gonna be a thing for the time being. Alright, so. Image or GIF. Alright, what else? Alright, share in a group. Yeah, sure, cat. Hey, Brock J writes, yo, what's up, Brock? How are you doing tonight? Also, don't forget, even if I know you IRL, please do not drop your real name in the skip stream. We have a strict rule against that because if for whatever reason that information could be used against you, I don't want to be held responsible, and I'm sure you don't want to be held responsible. So that's a thing that we're going to stick to. And I just realized I didn't put on the promo screen. That's weird. Also, we're not working on the Patreon promo, so that's also weird. So let's change that name. Properties. We're gonna call that. Aw, cat, don't do whatever it is you're about to do. Crim fly. number 97. Shiitake mushrooms. There are 97 of these things. Sketch. Check it. Okay. Alright. Let's find some other music to listen to, too. Alright, let's find some other music, because as much as I do like this song, we should probably listen to something else in the meantime. But I'm not ready to give up the Sonic yet, so Chemical Plant, you're up. And, oh, no, don't loop. Alright, so we have our timer. Next, let's open Photoshop, because that's where we're really going to start everything for the time being. Mostly because I usually do my thumbnailing in Photoshop, and then I bring it into Adobe Flash for the actual cleanup. Let's bring that down here. Oh, come on, Photoshop. Don't be weird. Alright, wrong window. So, Brock, what are you up to tonight? How are you doing? Let's see. Start the timer. Start recording, and we're off to the races. So, file, new. Alright, so. I have a lot of friends. They're being kind of annoying right now. Alright. So, 35 is where we like our pressure to be. So let's grab all that, delete it, start over. I want to get in the habit of thumbnailing on lots of big pages. So let's grab all that, shift that down. And the reason why I'm making a template right now as opposed to when I should have done it before is for shiggles. Alright, so now let's merge all that down, make another layer underneath that, and boom. We have a 4-page template for strips. Alright, so strip number 97. And Brock writes, I'm good, been busting out some animations, working on a big project for Dojo. Ooh, that sounds interesting. Also, if you've got a link to your work that we can check out, that'd be really great. So what's going to happen here is your foot's going to come out.
I guess I'm here too.
Hey, Drastic, how are you doing tonight?
Chilling.
I love how I finally gotten used to your voice. That's not like, oh my god, who is that in my stream?
Interloper.
So how are you doing tonight, Drastic? Oh, everybody, this is my buddy Drastic Action. Most of the time co-host. It's kind of cool how that's become a thing now. Let me go send out the caster call for that. Caster Drastic Action X. Why is your name so dang complicated?
Just Drastic Action X. Drastic Action was taken.
By who?
I don't know. I was a little perturbed to find that out back when I signed up for Twitch.
Then again,
So I didn't use it for like a year.
Then again, I'm also not one to talk. I didn't check that there was another Crimson Fly when I started out. So apparently that's a song on YouTube by a band called Huma Huma. I did not know that.
I did not know that either.
So yeah, so that was a thing. Hopefully I'm hoping to become the more famous Crimson Fly. Yeah. So this weekend was not this weekend, but this week is a cornucopia of. In theory, this was a good idea, but oh my god, this was a horrible idea. Why did I think this was a good idea?
You just make a lot of work for yourself.
Well, both a lot of work and some necessary work. So like this past break, I kind of assumed that like it would be like my winter break where they somehow withhold part of my paycheck, and I get like a sort of bonus in the middle of the break. That's not what happened.
Uh-oh.
So I didn't have nearly as much money as I thought I did. Plus, while am a massive proponent of supporting the arts, I'm also learning that if you don't have the money to support the arts, don't support the arts. Like it's as cynical and nihilistic as that is. I didn't have the money to go to BlurredCon this past break. I really didn't, and I shouldn't have gone. Like, it would have been that thing where it's like, oh, you're disappointing everybody, you're not supporting the arts. I'd be like, shut up. This money needs to last a lot longer than just BlurredCon. So, to make up for that, my boss recently revealed that a bunch of my coworkers need subs for this week. And I'm like, yeah, let's do the sub thing. Except that kills like a lot of stuff that I kind of usually use that time for. Which I kind of figured I'd backlog it and make time for it, but I didn't do that properly. So now this week has been this massive clusterfudge of when I get off of this, I'm gonna have to set up my workflow for next week. I'm also gonna have to render a video, and I'm gonna have to do the dialogue commentary. Charlie Bird, I'm working. Keep your voice down, please. Mostly because like the toilet is like right next door, and I don't want to hear the escapades of her like discovering something or other. So yeah, so like 2 of my coworkers have revealed that they are not going to be in this week, and I was like, okay, well I'll take the work, and then I was like, wait. To get into work is gonna cost money, and then whoa, somebody did a thing. Don Bosco just subscribed.
That's real though.
Yeah, Don, thank you for the subscription. What? On that note, let's check to see if those emotes went through, because this is starting to become annoying. No, go to the dashboard. Dashboard. And settings. 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 Come on, Twitch, this isn't that hard.
SETTINGS.
Emotes. Emoticons. Still pending. Well, fudge. I don't know. I gotta talk to somebody about that. I think the rule of thumb with that is just that like they just take a really, really long time. So that like the sooner you get on it, the better off you are. And that looks more like a fist, so we're gonna go with this instead. So I love the punchline for this is that the Crimson Fly like punches through the rubble like all like Spider-Man or Kill Bill or what have you style. And
Ninja Turtles, Kevin Nash, Shredder style.
Yeah, and except that like their fist is not the strongest part of their body at all. And it's like, ow, that hurt. You know what is strong though? Their legs. Actually, so just thumbnailing that out because I didn't do that yesterday. That was one of those things I should have done yesterday, but I didn't because the programming for this week's strip was not fun. The programming for this week's strip was not fun, and the animation would have been more fun if I'd had more time to spend on cleanup. So yeah, Don writes, if I promise something, I do it. You deserve it, buddy. Thanks, Don. Much appreciated. Always much appreciated. So we gotta find something to do for something else to do for the subscribers, because I don't feel like waiting for emotes, and I also feel like I could give you guys something else in the meantime too. But I don't really.
Strobe light and have subscriber dance party at your desk.
Well, that could be nice. And so we're gonna have a little mini pan upwards as our hero from in the darkness looks up and it's like, I guess it stopped. And it's like, what? Let's shrink them down a little bit.
Done a lot of off computer development today.
Oh, how did that go?
There's a lot of script writing. It was fun. Like I told you, I was falling behind a bit with Kid Punch, who was writing for that. It's been a blast.
Oh, for those who are new to the stream, if you could elaborate on what Kick Punch is?
Punch is the comic that I'm currently developing alongside of Dying at Overwatch and alongside KTFO. It's good checking me out at facebook.com/drastic creative.
Cool beans.
Even if the Overwatch part, if anyone was interested in that, Destination Shenanigans gaming YouTube channel.
Yeah, sadly I don't have a command for that. So yeah, if you could actually drop that in the chat, that'd be great. Sort of like the animation, Brock J's most recent animation, which I thought was pretty cool. So meanwhile, Don writes, you see what you just see what you do is just watching your stream is more than okay. Oh, well thanks, Don, but I do feel like I could do something else. I can't do something too much more, and that's kind of my problem, is that I like to, like, I have so many ideas for, like, oh my god, this would be cool to do on stream, and then I don't think about, oh well, here's the logistics of doing that on the stream.
Jesus.
So, and we have enough room for text. Eventually, the rumbling stopped. I'll put the text in when I get to it. Or not when I get to it, but I'll put the text in once I import it into Flash. So let's save this as number 97. I still need to do that freaking AMV, or at least get started on it. Alright, so we're gonna save this as Crimfly. No. Works in progress, number 6. Number 6 thumbs, 02. And eventually I'm going to save this as a template for doing more thumbs, because I just found out that I have like 13 more strips left in issue 2. That's no bueno. I should have known that.
Ay, Dios mío.
Ay,
Dios mío.
So Don writes, Drastic, I will subscribe to. Actually, woo! Drastic, do you have affiliate status yet?
On Twitch?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Sounds like something to work on then.
I've recently got with a friend of mine, Eric, who's been doing pretty well on Twitch, and he's walking me through some, like, how to make Twitch do better than you're doing right now type deal.
That makes sense. Well, I say that makes sense, but I mean in the sense that that's good of him.
It's old friends, friends for over 10 years. 10, 15, not quite sure.
Well, I mean, also, I guess
I forget things.
Well, I guess also the question is, like, what do you want to get out of Twitch? Because if this is not something that you're like, oh man, this is a possible revenue stream, then I mean, like, where you are might just be fine. You know what I mean?
I'm not really, well, at least when I started, I wasn't looking to become like a streamer, like make that like my primary source of income. It was one of those things where, like, I've got a small yet loyal fan base, and like this is just another part of their media diet. I'm like, okay, well, I can be on there too, and be another way to connect with them.
No, I feel that. Because, I mean, the reason why I ask is that, like, you know me, like, I don't, like, go in 50% or even 75%. I'm like, oh, let's do all the things. And then I'm like, wait, not everybody wants to do all the things.
I've spearheaded too many things to possibly do all of them, so I've kind of learned to curate what I do at any given time, so that I don't miss. I'm failing at talking right now because I'm shooting. Make sure I'm not like overcommitting myself while missing other things.
Cool. 2 seconds. Don writes, oh, I think Don was gonna subscribe to your YouTube channel, so if you could drop a link to that in the chat, that would be appreciated, Drastic. As soon
as I kill this Mercy, don't.
And then meanwhile, Don also writes, you gonna stream till 11 now? I am not. I'm still gonna stream till 10 because I have to get up in the morning and I have to get ready to get up in the morning. And not only that, but I also have to set this. I also have to set up Wednesday's video. Plus, I have to set up next Wednesday's video at the same time. So I can't stream past my hard limit for the time being. Hopefully next week everything should calm down a little bit. I know I said that last week, but hopefully everything should calm down and I can get back to normal stress rather than super stress. Alright, so what one am I actually working on? This is number 97. So I'm working on number 98. Oh my gosh, that's a misnomer title. Ah, crud. I don't have less time than I thought I had. Then again, I never have enough time as I think I have. So let's change that title to number 98 sketch. And let's change the title of the stream to 98. Done. Alright, so Sparkflow writes, big 100 coming. Ooh, I need to do that. Thanks for reminding me. I don't know what I reminded you of, but I'm glad I could be of service. And somebody's calling my house. For reasons. You guys give me 2 seconds. Actually...
Call from...
Hello? Hello? Okay, that sounds like spam. Oh, Brock writes, I need to change my YouTube URL. Ah, that makes sense. Alright, so we're listening to the dulcet tones of Super Mario Sunshine. So what are you guys up to? Drastic writes, once we get 100 subscribers, I can get a proper URL. Woo! Oh, that's what you meant. And Sparkflow writes, big 100 coming up. Oh, that's what I was not clued into this conversation at all. Because also my big 100 is coming up too with the 100 Crimson Fly strips. And I think maybe big 200 might be coming up soon with followers. That's up to you guys though. Did I lose? Okay, cool. You're still here because I was like, did I just like talk off a cliff? Because that would be awkward. All right, so work files, Crim Fly sketch.
I just want to get my first arcade loot box of the week, and then it's back to inking the comic.
Cool. Meanwhile, Sparkflow writes, I'm running around and trying to grab reference letters from friends and colleagues. Huh. I wonder why I haven't heard about this. Cough, cough, wink, wink, cough, cough. Wait, did I already write a reference letter?
Does Sparkflow go to AIW? Because Sparkflow sounds familiar to me.
Sparkflow did go to AIW. I don't know if you guys went at the same time, because I know Spark, I think Spark graduated either a little while before I started, or right as I was starting. But I'm pretty sure I wrote a recommendation letter for Sparkflow, and I would be happy to write another one again. And the reason why I say that is because I know Sparkflow IRL, so it's not one of those things where I'd be like, yeah, you get a recommendation letter from SkipperWing, you get a recommendation letter from SkipperWing. I actually do know Sparkflow, and I also know Drastic IRL, obviously. So that's why I can say, yeah, let's totally do the thing. Sparkflow writes, well, I wasn't going to bring up asking you on your stream, which I appreciate the politeness, Sparkflow, always. Let me change the camera angle because I feel like this is awkward and offwards and stuff. So, there we go. Cool. But yeah, that is a thing I would be willing to do. So if I may, and hopefully this isn't breaking NDA, aka non-disclosure agreement, what do you need reference letters for? So number 98, pre-production, sketch, work files, and there should be a JPEG in here. So it needs to go in the thumb folder. Whew. Crim Fly 98 TMB 01. Oh, right, it's graphic symbol GS. Don writes, did you make the Crimson Fly by yourself or with someone else? Oh no, this is totally a SkipperWing production in its entirety. All me. And I wouldn't say that that's for the best. I think that there was a lot of correctional stuff that somebody, oh my god, Jiggy Arts just started watching. I think there's a lot that I would probably change. Yay. Well, she started watching. I don't think she's in the Discord yet. There's a lot that I would probably do differently if I had actually gotten somebody else to help me out with it. The problem is that at the time that I'd come up with the Crimson Fly, I had kind of developed a lot of trust issues regarding the people I trust with my creative input and output. Like I'd kind of come to realize that while a lot of people meant well, they kind of didn't really know me well enough. Sparkflow writes, I'm also checking a teaser for the next Chronexia episode. Why would you torture yourself like that? Yeah, then again, that's not really fair to say. Misty Chronexia is a YouTube series, I think. It's basically a sort of anime YouTube series, and the person behind it is not really a writer or an animator or an artist, but they're trying. And the thing is that there's nothing saying that they can't eventually get better. So I really shouldn't be poo-pooing them on stream like that. That's not fair to them.
Absolutely. The poor lambs that cannot master my quality.
Well, I mean, it's one of those. It's sort of that sort of salt is reserved for like private chats, not really for a stream where somebody can hear me poo-pooing.
Private, not in public.
So yeah, so that's that. Like I watched their first episode. I'm not gonna link to it because it's not that great.
Oh my god.
I'm actually watching it right now.
What, the teaser for Misty Chronexia?
Is it Chronexia and the 8 Seals?
Yes, it is that.
8 seals. No one needs that many seals.
Damn. They must have been really bad for that to happen.
It's one of those things where, like, if I was a more spiteful and more opportunistic person, I would do a let's watch and then a reaction video. But that's not really...
Super petty.
Huh?
Super petty.
It's also not very... Yeah, it's super petty and it's not conductive. Like, I'm realizing a lot with the reaction videos or response videos. If you really wanted to get involved with that... Not involved, but you know what I mean. If you really wanted to help the person get better at their craft, you would do a debate video, not a response video. It's like you'd call them up and say, hey, I have issues with your thing. I'm going to talk with you privately about them. Then we're going to do a video where we talk about our conversations publicly. That's what a response video should be.
Let's talk to you, not about you.
Exactly.
I feel like I'm watching a really well done Flash animation. I mean...
No, go ahead. Please, finish the thought.
Okay.
I mean... It looks like he had a lot of people on it. But the style is like so... I think I'm in like the late 90s, early millennia still. terms of style because the animation is choppy.
Well, also I'd have to see which one that you were watching because apparently there's a new teaser out which fixes a few issues because that's what SparkFlow is watching. Also, SparkFlow, if you want to join us in the Discord, feel free. So that way you can just like talk to us rather than like having to type up responses and stuff. So SparkFlow writes he actually made a few improvements to the animation company he hired. Don writes, in the later period, would you work together with other animators or still work alone? I would probably start collabing with people. Like SparkFlow's got some really cool ideas that I want to work on.
Wow.
I wouldn't mind doing a promo for KTFO at some point for Drastic. And then there's some other people that they're doing some really cool things that I would love to be a part of. So yeah, I would be totally open to it. It's just like I'm starting to get over a period in my life where I just did not trust people, period. Like it didn't really matter how good you were or obviously how bad you were. I just didn't trust you because I really needed to go my own way. And now I'm starting to run into the limits of what I can do. Plus, I'm starting to meet a lot of people and starting to develop relationships with a lot of people wherein I trust them. Like, I would trust them to say, hey, if I died, could you take over the Crimson Fly for me? I mean, obviously, I wouldn't ask them to. I'd probably end it. But, Don writes, someone is interested in you. Oh, SparkFlow knows. SparkFlow knows. So, yeah, so that's what's up. SparkFlow writes, I'm pretty surprised. Still some hardline issues I have, but there are some better looking shots. Muma says hi. Welcome to the Skip Stream, Muma. How are you doing tonight? Stop recording. Put on the break.
I just watched the episode 2 trailer. They definitely did a lot better, but it's still choppy.
Yeah, I mean,
it's definitely improved from the first episode. Don't get me wrong, because they started actually doing like depth with the lighting and the colors and stuff. But yeah, it's still choppy.
Oh, this was before I got hardcore into streaming. SparkFlow knows. We did a shot-by-shot breakdown. I was not amused. I was not amused at all.
You need to give hashtag Skippy's not amused.
Like, it was the sort of thing where if I had a more petty and more opportunistic circle of friends, there would probably be a reaction video on YouTube of me going literally frame by frame, and then just breaking down my critiques. I was not happy.
We graduated for are exactly that petty. Like, we literally have long conversations about some guy whose stuff isn't good.
But that's not something. But that's not something that really should be out in the open. I think there's a really weird problem on YouTube, and just the internet in general, wherein a lot of things that should be like private, by the water cooler conversations or having a beer conversations or at the pub or during playing games, what have you, they're suddenly public conversations, and they're not conversations you really should be having on the internet. And not in the sense that it's like, oh no, don't, I want to look at some drastic porn, guys. Did you have it on your cell phone? Not like NSFW stuff, but just like sort of like I'm coming
like
at the
reporter.
Yeah.
Like a reporter, off the record. Like, no, we're having this conversation. I didn't mean for you to put it on the internet. Honestly, that's a subtlety that people, I think, are just blatantly ignoring.
Oh, absolutely. Don writes, lol, for real, boys. I know nothing about anime, but seeing how it's made, it looks pretty good. And, I mean, that's fair, actually. That's a fair point. I'm starting to come down off of the whole, well, as an animation expert, blah, 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 blah. But, we'll get to that in a second. I want to finish with Jiggy's point. About like yeah, like we're starting to present ourselves as authorities on stuff, and I'm like, come on, guys, you're not an authority. Don't present yourself as if you are.
Let's not do that.
And I think that for me, that like a lot of people would say, well, I'm not an authority. I'm just speculating. I'm like, yes, but you're making a living off of this, and when you do that, then yes, you are presenting yourself as an authority. And that's where I have issues with that. Like when you're making a video essay and you're talking about the state of the industry and you're citing sources and what have you, and you're speculating based off of those kinds of sources, fine, absolutely. I love Lindsay Ellis's video analysis of stuff. But when you're like, well, in my opinion, the anime community needs to do a thing. I'm like, whoa, who the heck are you?
The anime community? Like, are we, like, a pariah now?
Well, like, this is what Shonen Jump needs to do to get back my money, or all that jazz. Like, those sorts of speculation videos.
Oh my god. Okay, yeah.
Or, like, here is my trailer review. And it's like, I know your audience wants you to review a trailer, but you're better than that. Right?
No. It's 2017. The answer is no.
So that's where I have issues and stuff. And again, like, these sorts of conversations, like us talking about the new 13th Doctor, oh yeah, that's something we should absolutely talk about on our private channels.
I've been seeing the stuff fly on social media. I didn't know what the big deal was. I'm like, why is my phone blowing up? I'm like, okay, so the 13th Doctor's a woman. What is the problem? What is the bloody problem now? Seriously.
Man babies can make it a problem.
Man babies can need some friggin' baby powder and get slapped in the face with it.
I wouldn't argue that. But
Oh, never mind. No, I guess what's up my saw on screen. Never mind.
Are you looking at porn again?
But yeah, like, it's not a big deal. I mean, it's a big deal in that it's never happened before, and that should be the statement. It's like, oh, that's cool. Mm-hmm. But it's how ingrained we are. It's why social norms are so hard to change, because we're so ingrained to see things one way. And like, what should not be a big deal suddenly becomes a big deal only because it's different. Even though it's like, this doesn't affect you in no way, shape, or form. You literally have 13 other versions of this person to go back to if that's something that bothers you.
Yeah.
So that's what's up with that. But I've been not pointing out to the chat. So Don writes, is Discord only for sharing tips or just talking? Because I really don't know what the meaning of Discord is. So I don't know if you use Skype where you are, Don. But, like, you know how, like, IGN and all the online sites have a sort of chat forum where you can, like, talk to people and just post comments and all that stuff? Discord works similarly to that. But it also has a chat function wherein people can talk and chat with each other. Like, that's actually how we're all talking right now. We're not using Skype or anything like that.
FYI, Drastic, you're a legend, dude.
Apparently, yeah.
I'm a legend.
According to Don, yeah.
Well, thank you.
So, Sparkflow writes, it does look better. I've got some issues with storytelling and timing. Don writes, true. And, Sparkflow writes, she's right, though. And, Sparkflow writes, she's a woman, right? I have no idea who you're referring to. Don is male, Drastic is male, Jiggy is female, and I am, male.
For clarification.
There was a joke in there somewhere, but I lost the thread. And normally I don't out genders like that, but, like, you guys have kind of all given me, like, permission to do that.
I did.
Okay. I identify as female. I'm a cisgender female.
I identify as the original player from the Himalayas.
Ha!
I'm an attack helicopter.
Oh yeah, no.
You said you were an Apache. I didn't think that's what you meant.
So Sparkflow was actually referring to Doctor Who. Yes, then Doctor Who will be a woman come December. Technically, Jodie Whittaker.
Yeah.
Technically, she's still a man right now because she's still Peter Capaldi, but she will be a woman in the future at Christmas, played by Jodie Whittaker, who was apparently on Broadchurch, who was oddly enough, the showrunner from Broadchurch is now the showrunner on Doctor Who, and that's probably how that happened. Also, whatever the guy, the Irish detective's name is, he was also on Doctor Who. He was the 10th Doctor.
Oh.
So that's fun to know. Also, fun factoid, Jodie Whittaker was... Huh?
What number are we up to now?
We are now up to 13. Well, technically we're up to 14 because John Hurt played an incarnation of the Doctor. But because that guy didn't call himself the Doctor, we don't call him the 9th Doctor. He's just the War Doctor. And Christopher Eccleston is the 9th Doctor. Even though Christopher Eccleston is technically the 10th Doctor. It's dumb. So...
Yeah, female one now. That just unbalances everything. Right?
Apparently.
Combo breaker. Anyway.
So she was in Broadchurch with the 10th Doctor, David Tennant. Also, fun factoid, she was also in Attack the Block, the British version with John Boyega, who is Finn from Star Wars. So that is a thing. I've learned things. So we're gonna have that be like that. I might take this a little bit further, or I might go working on something else that I want to, because this is actually finishing a lot faster than I thought it was gonna finish. Because this strip is not as complicated as I thought it was gonna be.
Well, it's not that complicated. Don't make it complicated.
If you don't start one, there won't be none. Meanwhile, Sparkflow writes, be right back. Or whatever that means.
Burb. He's burb.
Meanwhile, Don Bosco, oh, Star Wars, my movie orgasm. Apparently something bad happened to Drastic.
Apparently.
Yeah. You get away by the skin of your teeth, but then there's a junk rat mine on the ground. You're just like, oh. Guess I'll go to sleep for a little while.
Well, speaking of which, my skipper bosses in the chat. One of these days I need to talk to you guys about setting up a stream for gaming, because that's the thing that I do want to do. I won't have an Elgato capture thing or what have you for Mario Kart on the Switch. But I do want to start streaming some Sonic. Yes, I do. Shut up.
I didn't say anything.
You were thinking it.
I have Elgato.
I don't think stuff.
You totally think stuff. You think all the things. But,
I haven't used the Elgato in a while. I can let you borrow it for a little while until 2K18 comes out.
Well, I mean, if I was gonna do that, I'd want to buy my own straight up, because it's not one of those. It's one of those things where it's like, I save up enough, I can afford it. I mean, I appreciate the offer. Don't get me wrong.
Doesn't mean I was in case you want to like front load your content a little bit.
Ooh, yes.
Dong.
Because like you're not gonna like I have it and now just out there you can kind of get used to it.
Yeah, I feel ya. So I don't know. Maybe at the next I was that too. I was gonna call it the Destination Shenanigans IRL, but I don't know what you actually call it.
You usually call it Arrival or Destination Shenanigans Takeover something.
Cool. But yeah, I might do it then, because I'm in no massive rush to get it started. Like I actually have to, as I was telling Drastic before the stream started, I have to get my life back in order. It's not out of order, but Don writes, has somebody seen Spider-Man Homecoming already? I have not. So unfortunately, because this is my stream,
it was glorious.
You guys can not talk about it because it's my stream.
Oh, fine. Even though, well, actually, you had me go into it a little bit without going into detail. I think last week. So
I mean,
we already did a spiel on Spider-Man Homecoming.
I mean, if you guys want to do like the sort of non-spoilers thing, then absolutely go ahead.
I did non-spoilers.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Don writes, well, I gotta wait till Friday. Don, you just insinuated you had seen it, though. Oh, well, that's okay.
Don, I'm just gonna tell you, yeah, you gotta wait till Friday, but it'll be worth the wait. Especially if you get paid Friday, it'd definitely be worth the wait.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, my getting paid on Friday coincides with the speeding ticket that I have to pay for reasons.
You speeding? What?
Well, to be fair, none of you has ever been in a car with me before. And it usually seems to happen in Washington D. Well, actually, I've been in a car with you, Jiggy. But I've never actually been in the driver's seat. Well, no, not even that. I'm saying like I've actually physically been in a car with you, but I'm just like, but I've just never I wasn't actually in the driver's seat.
Yeah. No, I know. Washington. If you got it from Washington D.C., that's not a big deal because they try to hand out tickets like I don't know. Like oh we got speedy tickets lying around here. You can have one. You can have one too. It's like what?
Yeah, well, this one was like $150, and I'm less than amused.
Well, yeah. I mean, 150 if we're doing like what 10 over. Good thing you were doing like 20 or 25 over. They'd be like, oh, that 150? Yeah, make that a 5.
Yeah, so that's got to be taken care of on Friday. Yeah.
Oh my.
Don writes, but you gotta agree, the first Spider-Man, the best. Maguire, I mean. Wait, do you mean the actor, or do you mean the movie?
If he says
funny joke.
If he says the movie, he's setting up for a long drop on Friday.
Well, I mean, I want to be nice because,
Facetious.
Oh, FYI, both.
Okay.
That's cute.
Well, here's the thing. Like, I think...
I'm in like a bit of a skitsy mood right now.
like in terms of movies, because I haven't seen Homecoming, I would still say that, like, the Maguire duology is still the best. I haven't seen Homecoming yet, so I can't say for sure how I feel about that. But in terms of actual Spider-Man, I personally feel that Maguire is actually at the bottom of the totem pole. That's my personal opinion. If you still like Maguire, that's...
The stupid cry face. It's hilarious.
Mostly because I feel like he's sort of like the Michael Keaton / Adam... Well, no, not even Adam West. He's the Michael Keaton of Spider-Man. He's serviceable, and he's got really great roles. He's got a really good story around him. But the character himself is not really as dynamic as Spider-Man kind of needs to be.
Man, that's funny that you said Michael Keaton.
Well, I mean, my God, my pun game is like amazing today.
Don't attack Maguire, dude. I'm not even started. I'm just holding back because you're seeing it Friday, and you're gonna come back. You're gonna come back Friday a converted man, and I'm a laugh so
come back
hard.
like, oh, Maguire.
He's gonna...
It's not a game, people. It's not a game.
like, here's the thing. Just because I personally rank Maguire at the bottom of my totem pole doesn't mean that he was bad in the role.
No, he wasn't bad.
A bunch of reasons why. That's not one.
That movie, when I was watching those Spider-Man movies, like, I was actually squeamish at some parts. I'm like, this is awkward.
Wait, in Spider-Man 2 or 3 or Homecoming?
The Spider-Man, I probably like 2 or 3. It's been a long hot minute. Just the feeling that I recall just thinking of the movies, it's just really...
Das Spider-Man.
Like I'm saying, like, Tobey Maguire was good. I'm not knocking his acting, but the overall package was just... It
was naff.
Yeah, I mean, you got what you got. I mean, but Homecoming, I think they did a real service. I think they dug deeper and I'm trying to be non-spoiling, that's why I can't really say, like, it's all abstract what I'm saying. I think they dug a little bit deeper in terms of story, character, and everything else surrounding the film. So...
Like, the thing is, for me, there's a reason why we don't remember, the memes, Spider-Man specifically. But we remember, the Green Goblin. We remember, J. Jonah Jameson. We remember the bad guys.
What? If Willem Dafoe plays anything, he's remembered. Because that man...
But even then, like, Alfred Molina made you care about Doc Ock. Meanwhile, Beth just popped in. Raimi and Webb Spider-Man were both very cringy. Watts Homecoming wasn't cringy at all. It was rather refreshing. That's fair.
It was.
Yeah, play the game though.
Well, yeah, that's the other thing is that like we're also coming off of having just seen it. Well, you guys have. I haven't seen it yet. I really want to. Shut up.
It's been like a week now. I've had time to digest, and I'm thinking about it. It's still better. I don't want to say like absolutely squash the other two Spider-Mans, but in terms of where it sits, it's top. It's top.
Mm-hmm. But the thing is, and I think we still need to sort of get into why we feel the way we do about Maguire, though. Like, not in a sort of like, Don, your opinion sucks, no, but like in a sort of like critical sort of discourse as to why we feel the way we do about Maguire. Because, I mean, it's really easy to just sort of praise, yeah. But, and it's also really easy to bash on Tobey Maguire and his cry face. I mean, he makes it really freaking easy. But I think there's something to take away from how Spider-Man's been executed. Like, I mean, for me, like, Tobey Maguire plays the nice guy, but he doesn't play the quirkiness. He's basically Clark Kent with Spider-Man's powers.
He's dry toast.
Yes.
He doesn't like, and the thing is that I think a lot of that has to do with direction. And
like that one, Stan Raimi.
Yeah.
Raimi.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would explain a lot.
And the reason why I say it's with direction is that having played the Spider-Man 2 and Spider-Man 3 video games where they write jokes for the character and Maguire is allowed to cut loose a little bit, he can deliver the funny pretty well. I mean, he's still only voice acting, but for when did that come out? 2006, 5-ish, 2004.
A long time ago, at this point.
The delivery was.
Movies were this massive phenomenon.
Well, not just the superhero movies, but the superhero games. But like.
Fan of the games either, to be honest.
But the point being that Maguire as an actor could do a more dynamic Spider-Man if he wanted to. But that's not the direction he was given for those movies.
Yeah. I mean, I think I saw when I saw him in Spider-Man, I was like, okay, this is good. Like, it's not horrible. Like, I like this. And then I saw him literally, like, I think a few months later, he was in another movie. It was a more serious movie. It was with Dennis Quaid. And I forgot what the movie was, but
see, it's funny because
millennials became Dennis Quaid's boss and dealing with that and better in that movie in terms of rank
Star Wars
and character growth.
Well, it's funny because then my brain went to that parody that they for Tropic Thunder with Tobey Maguire and Robert Downey Jr. And I was like, wait, that's totally not what she's talking about, but it's still funny in my brain anyway.
What's your voice?
Okay, I'm like history.
Hello? Hello? Did my connection just go crappy? Okay, so for whatever reason, my connection is being really wonky. Come on, computer. Let's close down some stuff. No. Hello?
Here.
Hello?
What? I said it's still warm in here. This sucks.
Yeah.
Wait to get paid.
Sorry, like my connection went really weird for a second, so I like missed the last half of that conversation.
Oh, we were just waiting because you were cutting in and out. I was like, huh?
Yeah, my connection went stupid.
I just made a comment about how hot it is right now in the computer room.
So, Muma writes, hello again. Welcome back, Muma. Yeah, my connection went stupid for like a half a second. It was weird.
Yeah.
But like, so we...
All the feels.
Yeah. That sucks. Anyway.
So we've established that Tobey is a decent actor. and has the range to pull off Spider-Man, but the writing was not really there for him.
Right.
I think they mostly because nobody had really done a superhero. Well, not no one, but like you know what I meant. Like,
no one done a superhero movie before that.
Shut up, you guys! Stop making fun of me. But like writing for Spider-Man had to be kind of safe. I think like for a lot of the superheroes, it had to be pretty safe. Like you had their out there edginess with Blade, but that was more about Wesley Snipes than it was about Blade being out there and edgy.
Yeah, and when you hear about the backstories of what happened on the filming of any of the Blade films, it's like, yeah, okay.
So
Don writes, maybe Friday will change my mind. Mm-hmm. You will see the light. So to speak.
So like his relationship with Mary Jane is like, oh hey, perfect girl next door, but she doesn't really have any quirks.
An enormous face.
Yeah, but she doesn't have any.
Oh, I'm sorry. I say their whole interaction is awkward. It's awkward to watch. It's not like they don't act naturally around each other.
Not Spider-Man awkward. It's just weird.
Yeah.
Especially with the whole like Spider-Man 2 plot, where I get that that's his reward is she chooses him. But I'm like, wait, you gave up your entire life for him. Really?
Not really.
I said I had to.
No. Oh my god. No, just God.
And I think a lot of and the thing is that also the writing also leads into another problem that I have with those movies is that things are plot driven rather than character driven. Like Peter drops out of his and Harry's loft for reasons at the end of Spider-Man 1 or by the beginning of Spider-Man 2 so he can be poor again. I'm like, wait, really?
Deus Ex Machina. What?
Or how
Screenwriter said.
Or Mary Jane decides to drop her entire well, the thing is that Don, we can still defend Spidey. Like, I mean, we can still defend Toby. Like, these are our opinions.
Yeah, we're saying Toby's a good actor. We're all agreeing that he got handed a script. His scenes with the love interest was awkward, to say the least. And like I said, I saw Tobey Maguire in one of the Spider-Man movies, and then I saw him literally 2 months later in another movie where his acting range was wider and 10 times better. So an actor can only do so much. If they're given a certain direction by the director, or the producer says something, or the writer says something, it's like an actor basically has more than one boss on the set. Yeah, the director is the ultimate kibosh, but the producer's got the money. And the writers got the ideas.
And the thing is that we also have the benefit of hindsight too.
Yeah.
Because like when they came out, they were heralded as good movies. In the same way that I can't really rewatch Superman 2, or Superman Returns. But like that's just aging. It just happens. Like we have the benefit of saying, oh yeah, 10 years later, yeah. Well, here's our crits with that movie. And I think that, like, with Andrew Garfield, he pushed Toby, or rather, he pushed the idea of Spider-Man, but he also kind of went too extreme. So suddenly you have this kid who is very, you have this kid who is very awkward, but it's not fun to watch awkward. Where it becomes, dear God, kid, get a speaking coach.
I didn't see the Garfield Spider-Man, so I can't comment on any of that. You guys do that.
Well, he is very like with Garfield Spider-Man. His Peter Parker is awkward enough that you wouldn't want to be friends with him, but he's also so like hormonally ragey Casey as a teenager that it's kind of hard to root for him at first. Like when he's having trouble dealing with his powers and he's getting into a fight with his aunt and uncle, he genuinely comes off like a really, really big jerk.
Right. And they're trying to play it off as, oh, he's a typical teenager. It's like, no.
Or when he's having trouble, like when Uncle Ben has to hook him up with Gwen for 5 seconds before Uncle Ben dies. He squanders his opportunity by not actually being able to talk to her at all. It's like, so, you wanna, I don't know, well, you go first. Well, you wanna do the, and it's like, and it's like, I get it. He is awkward. That's a little too awkward. Similarly, his Spider-Man has a lot more humor to him, but it feels mean-spirited. Like when he, like in the first movie, like the part that you see in the trailers, where he webs the guy to the wall, and then he's playing with his webs and just like what? Oh crap! I haven't been recording for like the last half an hour. Fudge.
Oops.
Whatever. I'll live. So like when he's webbing the guy to the wall and then he's throwing the webs at the guy, and it's like, okay, we get it. You made your point. Just wait for the police.
Don goes, maybe asked it already, but did y'all watch Rogue One? Yes.
Oh yeah, I have seen Rogue One.
So good. It was so good.
I'm even a Star Wars fan. I was pleasantly blown away by how much they made me care about the characters.
Yeah.
And it's weird because I feel like it's a movie that a lot of people didn't understand.
Are you serious?
You should see the wars on the internet.
No. When it comes to certain fandoms, I just don't even go there. I just don't.
Like a lot of criticism was like, well, why did they listen to her after she already told them that that they weren't gonna help her? Or why they just turn around? And it's like, well, they didn't turn around. They only turned around after people rebelled against the rebellion to go steal the Death Star plans.
That was a simple concept. No one got that? Seriously?
Mm-hmm.
Are you... No. No. Really?
Or, what was another one where, why didn't they listen to her? And it's like, they spelled it out. Exactly why they didn't listen to her. It's like, I couldn't relate to her motivation. It's like, what are you talking about? Like, she found closure over her parents' death, and found purpose to her life. I couldn't relate. And honestly, the ending ended exactly the way that it needed to end.
Oh my god.
But yeah, people be people and people is stupid.
It's not even like critiques of the film, it's like they just couldn't even get plot points. Like, they couldn't even get simple plot. Like, did you not pay attention to the movie? You didn't even have to pay attention fully 100%, and you would still know what was going on. Like, really?
Yeah, really.
I can't deal with dumb people.
But it still did, the cool thing is that it still did well, so no worries there.
Absolutely. Yeah. Oh, I saw, what else? You guys saw Wonder Woman, right?
I still have not seen it because I did not have a lot of money.
I has seen.
Oh my god. I gotta ask my friend Lori's coming over Saturday. She's thinking about going to movies and she doesn't know what to see. I might just, tell you to come with us, and depending on what she has not seen, we're gonna go see it. And I definitely know she hasn't seen Wonder Woman or Spider-Man yet.
Well, I mean, my big issue is just like the break hit me kind of hard and I didn't prep for it properly. So that's why I don't have money right now.
I get paid every week now at this new gig, by the way. I'm so happy.
I'd be jealous if I wasn't making the money I was making right now. Alright, so I have an hour to kill.
You have an hour to kill?
Because,
done?
Yeah, I finished the sketch, which is all I would need to do for this evening.
Okay.
But I should still keep the stream going for an hour, for 2 hours at least, rather than doing just the 1 hour and then saying bye everybody. So I'm kind of juggling between 3 ideas. I can either work on my Patreon.
That would be good.
Or not working on my Patreon as in like work on stuff for Patreon. But where is it? Static work files. What the hell? Oh, because it's in the sketch folder. So pre-production, sketch, work files. And let's open all three of these so you guys can see what I'm talking about.
Finish the rest of my blurred content. I got hit up hard via email like a week after the show.
Nice.
Are you serious? Did
Yeah.
did your email explode with commission requests after the show?
It exploded.
Exploded. That's always good.
Amen to that. So what are you gonna work on, Drastic?
What?
So what are you gonna work on? I know you said commissions, but like details.
I'm gonna work on commissions. I'm going to work on this ninja nurse thing that this lady wants. I'm gonna work on this Kairi Hojo picture. Dude from the wrestling group ordered. That's all. I'm not gonna try to do too many damn things tonight.
Cool. So what I can work on is I can work on my my Patreon promo comics, which need to be done so I can start get my Patreon launched. Currently in the middle of thumbnailing, or rather rough pencils. Or I can work on the thumbnails for my Sonic comic, or Sonic comic, like the Sonic fan animation. Don writes, it's 3 a.m. Let's buy some McDonald's. Or you for real, you can buy this on this hour, and where a guy rides with a bike to your house and delivers it. What? You have McDonald's deliveries?
What? Is he in the Don, are you in the UK?
No, Don's in Belgium.
Belgium? Okay. I was like, well, there was like about 5 hour, 6, wait, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2. Okay, I was off by an hour. Because I know UK is 5 hours ahead. A motor. Oh, okay.
Well, it's a regular bicycle, not a motorcycle.
Bicycle.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna work on the Patreon thing. Mostly because like that's something where it's pretty solid. I can hit a checkpoint with that, and also like I feel like with the thumbnails for the Sonic thing, that's something where like if you guys want to see the storyboards, like me do the storyboards, that would be great. But in terms of actually doing something where you guys can make out what I'm doing, Patreon's a little bit more coherent because my thumbnails are gonna be like really super rough.
Right.
So I guess I'm gonna work on Patreon for an hour, and then I'm gonna call it a night. Or rather, I'm gonna call it a night on the stream. I'm gonna like do a crap ton of work at my computer, getting ready for tomorrow. But yeah.
I'm gonna pop off only because I'm starting to sweat already, and I've been away from my computer way too long, but still.
I love that as a sentence that we can say in in today's day and age. It's like, I've been away from my computer for too long, and that's not really that's not even an unhealthy thing. That's just a statement of fact sometimes.
It is. No, like I said, once I get the AC fixed, it'll be lights up. I'm dying in here, so I'm gonna pop off and go back to the Arctic, aka my bedroom.
All right, thanks for popping by, Jiggy.
No problem. Thanks for having me, and glad I got to talk to you guys again. All
right.
See y'all soon.
I'll say, don't die. That would be bad.
No, I know. I don't know, man. Depends on the people.
If it depends on people, you are screwed. I'm sorry.
You hate me?
I don't hate you. I don't hate you. I just like people are just not reliable.
Oh. That's okay. Hubby gets everything. Alright. Peace out, y'all.
Later.
Oh! Forgot something. I was gonna create some new songs for the YouTube channel as well.
So Mumo writes, in the animation industry, what's the box office? And I'm not sure what you mean. Like, the box office in general? Because there's no such thing as a special box office for animation. Like, we share the same box office as everybody else. So I'm not really sure what you mean by that. Like, do we measure money differently? Because we don't. Like, the only reason animation is considered different come Oscar season is mostly because they don't want to compete with us. But there's nothing really different about how people consume. Because the reason why there's nothing different about the box office, because there's nothing really different about how people watch movies, animated or otherwise. Like, you still go to a theater and you just sit there and watch it. Nothing about that changes. It's not like with a video game where you have to plug it in and then you have to play it. Don writes, well, can you talk in Discord or just a chat? We are actually talking in Discord right now. Or rather, me and Drastic anyway. So yeah, that's a thing that we do. That being said, I am kind of restrictive about who I invite into the chat thing, mostly because it's not just about simply talking, but it's also about having a good flow for conversation while I'm working. So like me and Drastic have that sort of rapport as we're working, wherein we don't like interrupt each other or go on for crazy long amounts of time or go crazy off topic, etc., etc., etc. Like, we're both aware that the stream kind of takes priority. So yeah. So Mumo writes, what's the box office in general? Well, the box office is essentially how much money did a given movie make at any given period of time. And it's just a colloquial for that. That's really it. There's not really much to that in terms of explaining stuff. But generally speaking, most movies make in the millions of dollars, and if you don't break that number, you probably are doing something wrong. So yeah, that's the box office. And then Don writes, maybe I'll join when I'm on PC. And yeah, true, I understand. Well, thank you for understanding, Don. Because, like I said, kind of get picky with people. Because one of the worst things that can happen is if the stream gets derailed by what's happening on the Discord, and that's actually happened a few times. Wherein people will come onto the Discord, but they'll be in the middle of doing something else, and then that something else will distract from the Discord, and I have to say, well, look, guys, I appreciate that you're here. I love having you here, and I love talking to you about topics. But the stream, you have to be talking about what people are talking about in the stream, not whatever it is else that you're also doing with your time. So there's all that. Mumo writes, where does all the money in the box office go? Well, to everybody. I mean, everybody has to get paid.
Me specifically.
Yes, Drastic specifically. When you go watch Guardians of the Galaxy, Drastic gets a cut off of that. No, he doesn't. I'm just kidding.
It's amazing.
But if it goes to the studio first and foremost, and then they sort of divvy it up who it belongs to. A small percentage of it goes to the theater, but mostly it goes to the studio, and then they break down who gets the rest. Usually the marketing team, any in-house artists, and really it's not so much that it goes back to anybody as everybody who gets money off of it. Off of the box office, or rather, it's basically they're making their money back. What happens with box office is, rather with movie making, is that the movie is paid for before it's even made, essentially, and the studios basically give out more money as needed until the movie is done, and everybody gets paid with that studio money. Once that's done and the movie is done entirely, then the studio makes back that money with the box office gross, and they turn a profit depending on how much it costs to make the movie. Hope that's making sense. But essentially, the studios essentially loan out money to the filmmakers and expect to make that money back by the box office. So that's why movies need to do well, because if the movie doesn't do well and you spend all this money on the movie, then you're not getting back a lot of money, are you? Alright, so Really shouldn't be cleaning this up as much as I am. But I want it to be nice, because I want the inks to be even easier to do later on. And then Don writes, I'd be crazy to let random people talk to you. Yeah, well, I mean, most people who are on the Discord were invited onto the Discord, so. Who gets the most money? That depends on the movie, unfortunately. And it also depends on the type of movie as well. But needless to say, if you're at the bottom of the food chain, and that's usually where most artists are or start out, you're not seeing a massive chunk of that money. And honestly, this is stuff that you can Google yourself too. I mean, not that I mind I mind answering questions, but I also do want to encourage you to do your own research, and not just by finding the right people to ask these questions, but to go and look and do it yourself. What you can do is, let me see, I think Variety keeps tabs on how this stuff is broken down, as does Cartoon Brew. So, Variety. So Variety does stuff. Let me see. Cartoon Brew, I think, is the one for animation. Cartoon Brew, you want to kind of be careful of, because they're kind of biased, but they're also the only name in town when it comes to animation news. Copy. Paste. Because again, while I don't mind answering questions, I also do start to take issue with answering questions where I'm pretty sure you could find the answers if you put your questions into Google. Mostly because I'm not always going to be here to answer the questions for you. So you want to start getting in the habit of starting to Google these questions as well. Also because sometimes my answers are incomplete. But in terms of who gets the most money, from any individual given movie, I can't say. I honestly do not know the answer to that question. But and the thing is that it also depends on the person. It depends on the setup for the movie. Because I know that, like, not all movies get, like, all movie creators get a ton of money. Like, the creators of Superman and Batman died in poverty. Not only that, but the creators of most of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, aside from Stan Lee, died before those movies ever saw any sort of success. And even Stan Lee has kind of admitted that while he gets paid for his cameos, he doesn't have any sort of leverage or power over any of them. He does it as a favor to the fans and because he gets paid, but obviously not enough to stop doing them. In fact, I think that's part of the reason why Stan Lee still goes to conventions. Don writes, have you already seen behind the scenes of Last Jedi? Yeah, I saw that that little mini documentary, and it was really cool. That being said, yay. Well, no, there's not really much else to say about that. It was pretty cool. And, yeah, can't wait for Last Jedi. So, although I have to admit, I'm still holding out for Finn to have force powers. Yo, Jurassic, you still there?
Yep.
Cool, because he kind of went silent for a second. I was like, oh no, did I lose Jurassic?
Just getting stuff done. I
feel that. I trust that they'll be respectful towards Carrie Fisher's legacy. With what happens with Leia from now on. I don't think they're gonna recast her. I think that she's going to retire from the global stage, and it's gonna be up to Luke to carry the torch. Mostly because, like, you can't. Well, you could recast her. But it really wouldn't be the same. I also think that they were trying to move away from having to rely on her in the future anyway. I don't think they would have killed her had Carrie Fisher still been alive. But I think she would have moved away from being on the global stage and having being less important as the movies went on. Don writes, lol, who knows Master Windu's son or grandson? I mean, in all likelihood, if Finn is related to anybody, it's probably Mace Windu. But honestly, I kind of hope that Star Wars moves away from the whole everybody is related to everybody and the Skywalkers are the only important family in the galaxy. Because then it stops sort of being Star Wars and it starts being the Skywalkers. Or Legacy of the Skywalkers. And maybe that's what it's always been. But I would kind of hope that Star Wars would have enough faith in its universe to move away from that. And I mean, you've seen it in their other media. Oh, that's creepy. Where it's like, Knights of the Old Republic doesn't rely on the Skywalkers. Rogue Squadron didn't rely on the Skywalkers. Like, yeah, Luke showed up for bits and pieces of the game, but more importantly, it was like Wedge Antilles' roadshow. And Snoke, that guy is a mystery to me. Well, he's a mystery to everybody, and he's an unfortunate side effect of J.J. Abrams' mystery box mentality, aka the mystery for mystery's sake, which I'm not really a fan of. The idea of, oh, I want a mystery to confuse people to that way they stay interested in what I'm doing. I'm like, yeah, no. As I told my class, I'm of the mind that subtlety is the domain of the pretentious. AKA, if you have to rely on, I'm not telling you what I'm telling you. I'm not telling you this obvious secret because I want you to stay interested, then whatever you're telling me probably isn't that interesting in the first place, and you should probably knock it off. For example, Khan in Star Trek Into Darkness. Like, Benedict Cumberbatch being Khan didn't do anything for that movie at all. Like, he could have said, my name is Cucumber Piddly Pants, and it would have had the same effect on Kirk and his crew because Kirk and his crew have never fought Khan. Like, it meant something to the audience, but because it doesn't mean anything to the characters, it can't mean anything, it conversely can't mean anything to the audience. So yeah, I don't like the idea of Snoke being a mystery. I mean, I do like when it's done well, it works. Like the Emperor in Star Wars, whereas like you find out that Darth Vader isn't the Emperor. Okay, that's interesting because obviously if he's not the Emperor, then there's somebody over him who is the Emperor, and we want to know about that guy. But with Snoke, we're not given any reason to want to care about him yet, and so Mumu writes, as soon as you get hired by an animation studio, do you get your own office? No, you do not. It depends on what the position you're being hired for, but generally speaking, if you're getting hired into a studio, you're probably not getting hired at the top level. Like there's a reason why we call them entry-level jobs, and it's an entirely entry-level driven gig. Because let me see if I put any text in. Okay, cool. So select that, and but generally speaking, you get work in a cubicle, and I guess you could call a cubicle a desk, but you don't really get a dedicated space that's only for you. You have to sort of work your way up to that. You're probably going to work out in the open so that your supervisor can have contact with you, and you're probably not going to have your own like dedicated space. And by say probably, I mean you're not. It's just not how that works. So let me go to Photoshop real quick because I need to figure out what exactly I wrote for my notes. Okay, cool. I actually wrote my notes here. So let's put that in black, and then we're going to go over that and make it white. Don writes, I really hope they make a Star Wars about what happened after the 6th movie, but before The Force Awakens. There's not really much to tell, though. If anything, it's going to be super depressing, because you know that Ben is going to betray Luke. Han and Leia are going to leave each other very slowly. And it's going to be set up to depress you for the beginning of Force Awakens. That's not really a movie I'm interested in seeing. Plus, you also have to deal with recasting Han, Luke, and Leia, because Harrison Ford and Mark Hamill are too old to play the characters in that time period, even if you did clean them up enough to do so. Probably wondering, do I get out of it? And honestly, we're also not in a spot where the technology could do that. Because I think that if you did voice acting, Mark Hamill could play a young Luke Skywalker, no problem. But that wouldn't change the fact that that somebody else would have to do the motion capture. Red State. And let's bring that down to 2. Bring that down to 0. Cool, and let's make that white. Like, I think a movie set between 6 and 7 would have been nice before there was a 7. But now that we know how things turn out, like, I would probably want to see right after they beat the Empire and they still have to fight the Empire, the rest of the Empire. But I wouldn't want to see how we got to Force Awakens, because that's just depressing. And I think the reason why it works in Rogue One's case is because there was so much information we didn't already have. And also, there was still the hope at the end knowing that things would turn out all right. Comic and information files. The work files and like, I mean, to walk back my previous statement, a sort of Breaking Bad style and yeah, let's put that there. A Breaking Bad style, this is how things got this bad thing might work. But, that might work. Alternately, a comic book. Comic books are great for that. Because you can also, say, I make my Friday, yes. Like, comics are great for exploring that because comics can explore multiple storylines at a time. And they don't have the restriction of, that film has, or TV has, wherein you have to cast actors and stuff like that. Like, you can make a Luke Skywalker who looks like Mark Hamill if the artist is good enough, and not have to worry about, oh no, we need Mark Hamill to do the voice. So I think a comic book exploring that, or a book exploring that, and I personally prefer a comic book exploring that, would really help. How long have I been recording for?
What?
Well, no, I'm trying, because, like, I'm like, it's like 9:33, and I'm like, shouldn't the timer have gone off yet? And it's like, no, apparently I haven't been recording for a half hour yet. Like, one of the things that as fans we need to be better about is also thinking about the logistics of how the things that we want to get made are going to get made. And the practical realities of it. Like, I mean, because I think there's a lot of times where we speculate on something and we're like, oh man, it'd be really cool if that happened. And it's like, and we forget that if they could make that happen, they absolutely would make it happen. So we have to think about, okay, well, why are they not making that happen? And that's something we don't do a lot of as fans. And I think we need to start being better about that. I mean, we don't all have to do that. Like, there's a certain amount of fun to speculating. but it does help color our discussions. I think it'll make our discussions a lot smarter. I think if we can do that, then that'll make us better content creators as well. Mumu writes again, as soon as you get hired by an animation studio. Okay, so I covered this, but I'm going to cover it again. You're not going to get your own office if you get hired by an animation studio. If you get hired into an upper level position, like say a animation supervisor or animation director, you might get your own office. But more often than not, you're not going to be, unless you paid your dues and you've worked really hard and you've been working for the industry for like 5 to 10 years, 10 plus years, then you might get an office. But you're not going to get an office starting off the bat. Again, you'll get either a workspace or you'll get a cubicle. Not cubicle, but like a desk where you can work, but you're not going to be working in your own private office. Partly because it's a space issue. Like, studios don't have that much space, and partly it's a communication issue, wherein they want to be able to talk to you as you work. And if you're not available at your desk, I mean, if your desk has a door closed, then it's going to be really hard to talk to you. So it's just better to have everybody out in the open. Alright, so let me take a really quick break and then we're going to jump into the next one. Don writes, okay, Skip, I gotta say goodbye, man. I'm so tired. Get some sleep and see you in the next stream. Alright, well, Don, thank you for stopping by. Also, thank you for subscribing. We're going to talk about what subscribers are going to get beyond just the emotes. And I'm going to see if I can get the Frankerface Z emotes up. So that way you guys have something to play around with while you're here in the stream. Let me hit stop recording because that's not recording anymore. So yeah, and I'll catch you in the next one, Don. So I'm gonna take a really quick break and go get some food. Oh, and there goes the alarm. So let me take a really quick break. I'm gonna find some more music to tide you guys over. And stop recording. Cool. Alright, be right back. Alright, and I'm back. And there's like 8 people watching the stream now. How did that happen?
I started singing and attracted all kinds of viewers.
Yeah, well, I would say keep doing it, I guess.
No, I have a terrible singing voice. It's not a thing that happens.
Alright. Let's put on the Super Mario 64 one. Cat Melee writes, hey, glad to be back. Welcome back to the Skip stream. How are you doing tonight? Whew. Did the break timer go off? Okay, I keep saying the timer and not actually breaking. Putting it to use. So, this is going to be the last session for tonight. Work session for tonight. And then I'm going to go, not pass out. Crap. So, we're going to work for a half hour. I'm going to work on my, Patreon. Thing. And then, yeah. So, Kat writes, doing well. How are you? I'm doing alright, Kat. Busy as per normal, but I can't complain beyond that. Turn that off. I'm gonna have to make an entirely new reference thing once the next one starts up. So we actually got done really early with today's Crimson Fly video. So now I'm just working on my Patreon comic because well, I need to work on my Patreon comic. Mostly because I've learned that, like, two things. One, people are visual learners, and two, like, when it comes to advertising, people like visuals. Like, we like to make fun of those ads where they're so schwanky that we don't know what they're actually advertising. But that doesn't change the fact that they're still better. It's better to have an advertisement that's so memorable that you don't know what they're advertising than an advertisement where you don't forget it entirely. Because at least with something where you don't remember what it was about, you'll go looking for it and hopefully find out what it was about as you go. But so I'm doing what I do best, and I'm doing a Patreon comic for the Crimson Fly, or rather not for Crimson Fly, but for SkipperWing as a whole. And as you can tell with the user interface at the bottom, it's going to be animated. So that way I can put this on YouTube as well and make it a channel trailer as well as a Patreon promo too. And maybe if I get enough money, make it into a YouTube ad. So that's what's up with that. So what are you up to tonight, Kat? So drastic, a little bit of embarrassing trivia. Super Mario 64. Despite Super Mario World being my first Mario game, Super Mario 64 was the first time I'd ever heard the Super Mario Brothers theme song.
Really? No.
Yeah. Like, I'd heard it during the Super Mario Brothers Super Show, like the swing your arms from side to side. But I didn't really, like, associate that with Mario because, like, you know, my brain was more about the lyrics than the actual song at the time. And like I said, my first Mario game was actually Super Mario World, followed by Super Mario Land for the GBA. So I didn't really get the actual Mario song until the title sequence for Super Mario 64. I'm like, what is this awesome, like, reggae ska thing? And it's like, that's the main theme for the entire series. Whoa.
I was always more fond of the underground or dungeon theme.
Yeah,
They did slow it down like that eventually.
Oh yeah, and I love how, like, in 64 they get so many different remixes too.
I like the one particularly Super Mario 3 because it had like a little drum track to it.
Oh yeah. I have to admit, I kind of want to do a AMV to the Bob-omb Battlefield theme. Because it's just so bright and happy. Like, you forget that you're in the middle of a war zone. Apparently my singing is driving everybody away. Then again, it's really hard to read the metrics on Twitch. Fuck the chain chomp.
They gotta stomp on his post and get one of the stars there.
Fuck the chain chomp.
We're gonna do a Let's Play Super Mario 64 just because it was that much fun.
Say what?
We're gonna do a Let's Play on the channel of Mario 64 just because it was that much fun.
Do you have a Nintendo console with which to do the Let's Play?
See.
I mean, I know there's your roommates, Wii U?
I mean, like the actual 64.
Oh, snap.
Have to get that joint out of storage.
Let me know when you do, because I'd love to pop by and just be annoying. It's like, drastic. I think you forgot a star over there. Let me do it and stuff.
Possible. Got all 120.
Well, I mean, for the Let's Play, you'd have to reset them. You know what I mean?
Definitely. It's like, I think all 3 slots. No, all 3 slots don't have 120. The last one, I just did enough to beat the game because I'd already got 120 on the other 2.
Kind of makes me wish that they had ported. They did a port of the DS version. For Let's Play.
Yeah, because you could run around with the characters. It was pretty fun. So I have that one too.
Yeah, like I love the whole like, hey, guess what? There's 3 other characters. Plus, here's 30 more stars. Sparkflow writes, time for bed. I'll chat with you guys later about the new reference letter. Sure.
Later, dude.
Oh,
let me see.
So, yeah, it's like, also, here's 30 more stars. Like, wait, 30 more, what? Like, I think that was the first game I ever 100% completed. Because that was fun. And have a mini Crimson Fly in his hands, because that's something I want to offer for people at some point. I actually think that's actually feasible for a Patreon at some point.
Do what now?
Offer people the ability to buy minifigures of the Crimson Flying characters. Or, like, have that be part of a Patreon reward. It's like, hey, you paid me $50 a month? Here you go. Here's a free statuette.
I've been really wanting to just throw my money at the kid to do some knockout action figures. Like, I actually talked to him about it at, I think it was at the MagFest.
Have you been in contact with him since?
No, like, I don't have the ends for it just yet.
Oh.
I mean, like, I've got it. I may have more than $100 in the bank if that balance has gone through, but this morning I had $100 in my bank account. And, like, no paycheck coming until the fall. So...
yeah, it's gotta wait.
Money for action figures.
Well, even then, I would still talk to him about it and just, like work through your process. So that way, it's like, when you do have the money, you can just be like, yo, here's the money. Get to it. You already know what to do.
Right, I should email the brother. I should email the brothers. I haven't talked to him in quite some time.
Me neither. I haven't actually seen him physically in quite some time either.
So physically at the MagFest, I haven't seen... I saw Robin at Zenkai.
Yeah, and I know she and well, she was at Katsu too, with
Yeah, I didn't Katsu this year.
And then they were at, both she and Bakia were at CreatorCon last year, so I'm wondering if they were there this year too. I mean, you would know. I didn't go.
I don't think he was there.
Huh.
Not 100% sure.
Thing, I don't know, it feels like since last year he's kind of slowed down on doing con stuff and has kind of left that more to Robin. Or rather, Rewind. You know what I always found weird about Princess Peach's castle?
What was that?
But it never had any sort of, like, living amenities in it.
Yeah, where was the kitchen?
Like, I wasn't gonna raid Peach's wardrobe, but, like, did she not stay anywhere in that castle?
She just slept on the floor. Her house is exclusively for paintings.
Because, I mean, that was one thing that just I never understood about that game. Is just like, where do you stay in this castle? And it's like, it wasn't even like there was a throne room or anything either.
The top floor just has a big hole in it.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe Bowser renovated that room. Like, nope, this is going to be the final boss gate. Throwing all your stuff in the hole where it's going to burn in the lava.
But goddamn if that place wasn't fun.
Bowser, you don't really have a great history with the hot lava and fire and such, yet you insist be surrounding your home or your lair.
Oh, and now I'm listening to the endless staircase. That used to like creep me out and also cheese me off at the same time. I'm like, fuck you! I'm not getting 70 stars.
Something is amiss. I remember like when we got to that part, I think my brother was just like done scavenging for stars. Like, I'm gonna see if I can go. And for a minute, he thought he was making progress, and he was like, wait a minute. Oh man, I'm not going anywhere.
Well, it's funny because, like, when you get to that part of the game, when you're a kid, you're like, crap, I have to get all the stars from all the hard places. Even though, like, they left you plenty of stars at the very beginning of the game. So you don't have to do any of the hard stuff later on.
That game is remarkably easy to beat.
Mm-hmm. Like, I remember me and my sister would just, like, we would jump into the clock and we wouldn't stop time. We would just jump in as is. And then try to do the red coins. It's like, why is it so hard? It's like, you're supposed to stop time before you jump in. That way you don't have to deal with the things rotating. You're like, well, we're going to do it anyway.
When everything is stationary, it's so easy. When everything's not stationary, just rotating planks of wood. How am I supposed to? Wow! Just fall.
Oh, now they have the aquatic. Hmm?
Go ahead.
Say again?
It's so weird, the stupid trick we used to do in one of the switch houses, or the special stages where we would jump all the way down. We like get all the way down the slide, die on the edge, and roll over. So like when you came back up in the boat out front of the castle, you'd instantly drown.
Oh, so wait. Oh, it's like you.
Fall.
Oh yeah, fall damage and then drown too fast for you to get your air back, or if you even had a chance to make it back to the top.
So you'd literally be dead before you got back to the water. The game wouldn't register you died until you were
in the water again.
After the warp, because like you would have no HP left after the impact. We'd like burn ourselves to have like just a sliver, jump, hit the corner but fall over the edge.
It's funny because, like, speaking of that reminds me of, like, I remember my I guess he could be called my adoptive little brother. He was playing for it and he was trying to troll us at the time before trolling was actually a thing. So he was like burning through lives, and then he actually got to the game over screen, and me and my sister had been playing so carefully that had never happened to us. We're just like, wow, we've never seen that screen before. So that was fun. But yeah. But I think that was the first game where, like, because we had a strategy guy. And I remember, like, I stayed up, like, until, like, this was, like, the first time. I think that was the first time in my entire life I had ever pulled an all-nighter. Was that game. Like, I remember, like, I beat it for the first time at, like, 5 in the morning on a Saturday. And I'm racing to show my sister. And she just doesn't get it, and she just doesn't care. But yeah, that was, like, I think the first video game I ever beat. And then that would be passed later on by Super Mario World. And then, freaking, whatchamacallit, Spider-Man 64. Fuck Monster Octopus. Fuck him. Like, did you ever play the PS1, like, N64 Spider-Man Drastic?
No, actually.
I mean, like, in here and now, you're...
We might have rented it, because, like, that was the thing we did back then.
Yeah, I remember. Meanwhile, Agent DJ writes, "Hey, it's that guy. It is that guy. It's Agent TDJ. I keep forgetting that there's like a T after there. But yeah. So I remember playing it, and it's in hindsight, it's one of those good for what it was things. But I think Spider-Man 2 kind of broke Spider-Man in that you can't really go back to a non-open world Spider-Man now. And so that was the first game. That was the second game where I went all the way to the end and beat it. But like Monster Octopus was just like, I was too sleep deprived, and also like the music was so like harsh that I was like, I'm not in a mood to deal with this. But at the same time, I was just like, I need to beat this guy. So here I am, like scared that this monster thing is going to devour my Spider-Man character. Like literally eat him alive, like in one of those horror like Game Boy game things. And I'm also trying to get out of the boss fight, get to the end of the level like you're supposed to. And I'm just like freaking out. Like I'm slowly like keeping myself from freaking out, even though like in my brain I'm like, I'm freaking out, man. I'm freaking out.
I had to have been like low-key amazing at video games when I was younger, because as an adult, certain games that I beat as a child are a problem.
Oh, because of difficulty?
Yeah, like I used to ceremonially just destroy Mega Man X games, like Mega Man and Mega Man X games. And as an adult, I found myself dying, and I'm just like, how did I do this when I was little? This is insane. There's spikes everywhere. One-hit kills, and back then, like, the one-hit deaths were abundant in gaming. Get shot once, sucks to be you. Try again, don't get hit ever.
Well, you also had more time as a kid.
I mean, it's not like we sunk, like, years into games, though. Because we honestly didn't play a whole lot of video games when we were that young. We did play a lot of basketball. We did spend a lot of time with the kids in the neighborhood. The gaming was kind of like a before bedtime, like, oh, we're games.
Well, also like sports. Well, sports also has a lot to do with it too. It's like you start building reflexes and reaction times, and suddenly it's like that's transferable to your games too.
Yeah, so like, I shouldn't have decayed. Like I still engage in physical activity. Maybe then I just I didn't understand how unfairly difficult some parts of the game were, and I was just like, eh.
I will tank it until I make it.
It is what it is. Plus, I had a tag team partner back then, so that was...
Yeah, I remember me and my sister, like, up until she stopped, like, moved away from games, me and her would just, like, sort of tag team the games.
We still do. Me and my brother, like, he's married now.
Mm-hmm.
Got a kid coming in September. We still just, like, on holidays and, like, special occasions, just find time to just dump some hours into playing a video game. Like, he literally bought the the Army of Two Devil's Cartel game.
Oh, you told me about that.
We like the 40th night, and it's like buddy cop movie, the form of game. It's awesome. Like I beat that game like 18 times with him and maybe 37 times with Chris Scott. It was like chance to play the new one, and like the gameplay was great. The story was just made me so sad and it was so bad and stupid. Like we beat it in one sitting. Like when he picked me up, we went to the store and got the game. Back to my mother's house, he plugged up the system, sat there for like don't know how long, beat the entire thing. He took it back to GameStop in the morning.
Damn. I think the last game I did something like that for was a Shadow the Hedgehog. Because back then, Sonic Heroes it's not as great as it's not as great as Adventure 2, but it's all right. And then Shadow's like, well, we have all the things you like. We have Shadow, we have guns, we have like magic lightning powers.
Bad attitudes. What more do you want?
For it to work, for the levels to make sense. But yeah, got all 10 endings and took it back to game.
I don't go too far into that because as you know, I'm a sound believer that he had his last good game on the Sega Genesis.
But yeah, Shadow was like, I got all 10 endings of that game, and then I took it back. I was like, and then I was like, as I reflect years later, I'm like, it wasn't hard, but it wasn't good either. But that was also one of those ones where.
I was gonna say like maybe like Mega Man X7 and like no, that game wasn't just not good. That game was an abomination.
I think the game the one game where I was just like, I'm not even gonna like because there's been a few games where I'm just like, I want to finish it, I just don't have the time, and they never find the time. I'm like, well, when I need money, one of these has to go. Oh, so when I'm just never playing anymore. Like Sonic 06 was the one where I absolutely refused to play it, or I refused to do the other to completion. Like I picked it up for like out of a bargain bin for like $6 out of that sort of like, oh well, I have to see how bad this thing really is. Finished Sonic's story, I was like, nope, I'm done with this game. I am absolutely done. I do not need to know how this ends.
Loyal fan to even get that far.
I mean, by this point, I'd kind of moved past that because there was at school, this guy named Dennis was like, so Colin, you're gonna pick up the Sonic and the Black Knight. I'm like, no, why would I do that? He's like, because it's got Sonic. And I'm like, yeah, but it looks bad. They gave him a sword. Why would you think I would buy that? So that was fun.
Play the one where he was werewolf and had stretchy arms, and all bets are off.
Well, yeah, but that also had a good component to it. Because the date.
Like, if him having a sword didn't seem ridiculous to you, but that did, it's like they both just seem ridiculous.
Well, no, but here's the rub. Like, the thing with the sword was that was the entire game. The daytime stages for Unleashed were good enough that like fans made a concerted effort to port them into Generations. So yeah, no. In one instance, that was the entire game. In the other instance, that was part of the game, and the other part of the game was really good.
So it was only 50% trash. Is what you're saying?
Well, 60% trash, not 50. Because the way they phrased it was the reason why they created the Werehog was that they couldn't make the entire game 3D Sonic, because then that would have been a game that was like 3 times the size of the Earth, because the levels would have to be that long, because you know super speed means big levels and all that jazz, and they just couldn't do it. In fact, that
was their brilliant master stroke. Like, we'll slow him down. We'll make a Hulk version of him.
I'm just explaining it. I'm not saying it was a good. I didn't say it was a good idea. I think actually with a more solid engine, and instead of making it like stretchy Monkey D. Luffy Sonic, just like make it Knuckles. I mean, granted, that would have.
Was when I saw like the commercial for that game. I may never have laughed as hard as I did.
Yeah, that game, that section deserved all the cringe it got.
I wasn't even cringing. I was just like mouth open laughing. It's like, what the hell is this crap?
It's like, who thought this was a good idea? Which is funny because like the hmm? Which is funny because like the Archie comics actually made it a really cool idea, where it's like, oh, I don't know how this body works, but I'm gonna find a way to make it badass in a comic page. Too bad they couldn't figure out how to make it badass in a video game.
Showa.
Hmm?
It's sure.
I mean, Archie Comics was really great in that they had the benefit of hindsight. So, like, a lot of their adaptation stuff, I don't know, it worked for me. Like, their Mega Man one worked for me. Their Sonic one definitely worked for me. And I guess they're not making them anymore, because I think either the licenses ran out, or, the video game companies got greedy with them. Because, like, they kind of stopped soliciting Sonic comics, and so everybody's like, so wait, are they canceled or not? And Archie's like, maybe? But everybody who's worked on the project is like, yeah, hey, if you guys hear of any other work, let me know, because I think I'm out of a job. So I think everybody sort of moved on from Archie Sonic, which is really too bad. Which I guess wouldn't bother me as much if like they were picking if Archie if Sega and Capcom were picking up the slack and making their own adaptations, but they're not. So they're just kind of sitting on it, and I'm like, fuckers. Oh hey, there's the underground music is playing now. Ding ding ding. Sometimes it's really disturbing to me how much mileage that Nintendo gets out of the Mario music.
Remix it.
Like they don't even get that much mileage out of the Zelda music, and the Zelda music is like super orchestral.
Less well known or iconic.
True. I mean, it's like it's not just that the music is iconic, but also that like when they do it, they also get they also like are able to sort of like rearrange the notes to get another melody. Like if you get like because like if you put the Super Mario 3D Land song on top of Overworld song on top of the Super Mario Brothers 3 Overworld song, like the chords match up. The chords and progressions all match up, but it's a different
Super Mario
song.
3?
Huh?
You said Mario 3?
Mario 3 and Mario 3D Land.
Which overworld song Mario 3?
The athletic theme. See, I can't remember off the top of my head. Do do do, ba do do do, beep ba do 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 do, beep ba do ba do.
Oh wait, no.
Well, it's what's
the first, like in the first stages.
Well, I mean, they call it the athletic theme because it usually resurfaces in a bunch of places. Because that's what they call them. That's what they call all those like the sort of general overworld themes.
So you're talking about the overworld theme or the map theme?
No, I wasn't talking about the map theme. I was talking about the in-level But yeah, like if you overlay that one with the one from 3D Land, they match up. And then same thing with like 3D World and Super Mario Brothers 2.
The damn map theme stuck in my head for a week after we played 3D World. God dang it, man.
Yeah.
We beat that entire thing in over the course of 2 days. So that was over Christmas break. I was at my mom's house for 2 days. We played Mario.
Yeah, it's weird because like that was the one where like I beat it, but I never 100% completed because by the time I was like I got to a point where I'm like, oh man, I should go look for those stars. I'm like, I'm bored. Like this is fun with other people, and especially with other people who don't know what they're doing. But, like,
There's a lot of stuff in that game though.
Mm-hmm.
Like I couldn't even imagine 100% in the game. Like, did you get the special stage? Yeah. Did you get the special stage in the special stage? Oh, no. The special stage in the special stage in the special stage.
Yeah, that was annoying. And like, if I had a roommate at the time, I totally would have like, yo, you want to help me out with this? Like if I was still rooming with Rodney Emerson, me and him would have 100% completed it. But by that point, I was like, I'm by myself. And I've got a cat. I don't really want to go looking for another roommate either.
The more people you play that game with, the harder it gets.
Which is half the fun. Well, I mean, it's fun if they don't know what they're doing. If they purport to know what they're doing and they're still getting in your way, then it gets really irritating.
I don't think you can help that. Like, I'm pretty much a Super Mario veteran. But like me and my brother consistently did that thing where like, okay, we need to take off and run because we're being attacked. Oops, I picked you up. Hang on, I guess. We're out of here.
Well, I mean, that was fun too. But it would be that thing where like you both know how to get the star, but you both want to get the star. But it wouldn't be that sort of fun where it's like I accidentally picked you up and we're gonna okay, well let's just run with this. It'd be this really irritating. Okay, well I'm gonna jump off the edge. No. And then at the end it'd be like, why did you jump off the edge? Because you jumped off. And I was gonna try and save the day. Whereas it's more fun when nobody knows what they're doing.
Another portion in the game with the those platforms that switch when you jump. Every time you jump, it switches from red to blue.
Ah, that sounds amazing.
When me and my brother did that, we had some difficulties, but we got through it. It's like we can kind of get on. We've been platforming for years, true to this. We played 4 players with me, him, my cousin's husband. We played with Mark and Mark's son, Marcel. He's I think like 10. He was just like, I got this, baby. We're like, no. He went ahead just jumping and jumping and jumping, and we're just like, I can't stay alive. I don't know which one to get on. Going down those platforms with 4 players is hard enough. But when one of them's 10, it's like, it's insane.
Meanwhile, what just happened is like so the Super Mario 64 playlist just got to the power up music and the metal cap. I could rock out to that for like the rest of time.
I'm sure you could.
I don't know, that just never got old to me for some reason.
Surprising.
Which is weird because like
appropriately heavy feel to it.
Oh yeah, which is funny because like I would never pause the game while the song was playing, so I never heard the full song until like I went looking back for it years later on YouTube. Like that one section like where it drops the bass, and I was like, whoa, that's cool. Boom 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 boom.
I don't listen to a lot of video game music. Some things sound good as songs. Some things like I'm not like that kind of fan. Like, I love this game, therefore the music is amazing.
Oh yeah, no. Also, I think for
serious laughs out of the abomination that was WWE 2K15, just because it seemed to use the Nolan Batman track on the 2K showcase. You just like, oh, play Punk Showcase. You see like his 3D mouse spinning around. It's like, dun 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 dun. Wait a minute, this sounds entirely too familiar.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like a lot of video game music these days, it's not memorable.
I feel like, honestly, it's probably as memorable as it was then, but it's the nostalgia factor. It's a part of something that we cherished, and we remember the music fondly.
Well, there is that, but I think also this.
So I'm sure people will, like, once they get our age, about, oh man, the freaking Metal Gear Revengeance had an amazing soundtrack. You just like the game.
I mean, well, I think for a lot of them is that the older 8-bit ones had a very simple and really easily hummable like progression. Like it's no big, like, I mean, yeah, you're not gonna be singing City Escape 24/7, but it's not that hard to remember the Green Hill Zone theme. Or hell, Mega Man 1 Cutman's theme, or what have you.
That theme sounded horrible. I love that game. That theme just...
Oh, what, Cutman?
Yeah.
I guess also because I came into it like later, and so I came back to it. So I'd have because I'd have the remixes in my head rather than the original one. Like I always have the remixes in my head, so it never seems bad to me.
That one was abhorrent. Then a lot of those games had like decent melodies. And I think that stuck out to me in my mind when I was playing them because like a lot of games are like action track. And you play Dustman stage like, why is it so melodic? Why is it so sweet? I don't fear for my life at all. Ooh, what's that, a pit?
Let's bring some of that down a little bit.
Game design was so dickish back then. Like, I love Mega Man 4 and like, those little things that pop out of the pit, they hit you just because you jumped over. Like that's dick design. Like I never fall for it because it's ingrained in my memory. Like, don't jump over this pit because something's gonna spring right up and kill you. Like how's somebody playing this game the first time? It's like, oh no!
Ooh, Cooper's Road. I love that song.
Those used to be legit difficult. Like, give us your money. This one series I used to really Street Fighter. I used to love that game. Your friends ruined it for me.
Well, Street Fighter the series or just Street Fighter the game?
The games.
I don't really know what Nintendo was thinking. It was like, yeah, you got nostalgia, right? You want to buy Street Fighter 2? And I'm like, no. I want Street Fighter 5. I mean, I don't really want Street Fighter 5, but if I was going to take a Street Fighter, I'd take Street Fighter 4 or 5 on your console. Why are you giving me Street Fighter 2? Nostalgia! No. So, if you like what you see...
Well, it's going to ever get any better. Well, it's going to evolve any further past 4. Because 5 just was ugh.
Crimson Fly.
Can people not handle charge characters anymore? Why do I have input for Bison now? This is weird.
Well, apparently, like, all the strategies sort of, like, congealed into one so that the matches all feel the same.
Man, it's stupid. I used to, like, when I was a kid, I took, like, legit pride in the fact that I could play a charge character because you can't just do their moves. You have to charge back for 2 seconds. So I'd jump in, get some hits in while I was holding back, and then do it. It's like, man, I did something that felt legitimately difficult. way that play it now is edified there.
I mean, but even like with, I think they're rolling this back on for Infinite. Like I play Marvel vs. Capcom, and like at the high levels of play, I'm like, wow, there's a lot of lights. This is really hard to follow. Because it would always just be assist spam. Oh, I love it. It's the Bowser fight music. I'm like,
franchise that broke fighting games.
So I love it. Like the Bowser theme is playing right now, and it's great because like I remember like whoever did the model for Bowser, I hope they're not working at Nintendo anymore. Cause that teddy bear was weird. And I remember like his first model in Super Mario 64. It looked like it was like this weird plush thing.
He looked a little round. It looked very scary. But you can't grab my tail and throw me up that bomb over there. But I believe I can do that. I've done it twice.
All right. Well, anyway, I got my Patreon sketches done. So I'm gonna call it a night, or at least I'm gonna call it a night on stream. I kind of have to get to. I kind of obviously have to like integrate everything into their proper spaces. So before tomorrow. So yeah, I'm gonna call it a night. Drastic, thanks for hanging out with me. And I will catch you later. The next stream will be actually, there isn't going to be a Wednesday stream. Well, no, there will be a Wednesday stream because I'm not going to be able to get out of DC fast enough to get up to Baltimore. So I'm not going to do the drink and draw this week. Because as much as I want to, like I'm going to get out of work at 5, and then I'm going to get to my car by around 6-ish. Maybe 6:30. And then by the time I get to Baltimore, everything will be over. So I'm just gonna go home and stream. So yeah, so the next stream will be Wednesday at 7/7/30, depending on when I get home, and we'll go from there. And so we'll work on the next thing for Crimson Fly, and we'll also do colors for that Dio piece. Like, I don't know if you guys were here last week. I did a piece on JoJo's Bizarre Adventure where I did the colors for it. So for this week, wait, no, I did the colors a while ago back. But the point is, I'm going to do the colors for the Dio piece, and then and also do the background. So where Jotaro has Aura, Dio has Muda, etc., etc., etc. So we're going to work on that on Wednesday, so that way we can have it for Friday, and I get paid. All right. Sorry about like the eye rubbing thing, but like contacts are not fun. So let's see who's still here. So Agent, Best, Drastic, Fagwent, Cat Mela. Thank you guys for popping by. I think we're not gonna raid anybody, but I'm gonna host Hainsaw Art because I really like their stuff, and they're available right now, and I think that they could use the support. So we're gonna do that. Oh, are they offline now? No, they're live. It just says BRB. So we're going to host. I'm gonna host what's his face, Hainsaw Art. Apparently he's in the middle of a break right now, but if you decide to stick around, check out his stuff. Cool. All right, I'll catch you guys later. Host
Deuces.
Hainsaw Art. And of course, remember to turn off stop